All right. Up on floor 2.5 or so. I think they advertised three. I guess this is 2.5. Oh, this is two, and then you go up to three over here. It gets kind of mucky. Yeah, this new kind of architecture and stuff. But another view of the stage, more booze, and lest we forget, more bowling. It's great. I mean, you get a lot of ways of looking at the show, a lot of, very cool. And you don't have to leave the kids at home. They got bowling on this floor too. So mommy and dad can watch the entertainment, watch the music, and the kids could watch the pins. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Craig Morgan. Interesting. This venue was chosen. I first heard of Craig Morgan in the 90s. He did a song called Almost Home. And it was great song. Lyrics, And it was about an old man who was woken by some young guy who was worried that he was dead because it was freezing outside, and this old homeless man was still in the snow. And the old homeless man gets upset because it's like, hey, I was dreaming about the past and how great the past was. And it's very pastoral, it's very idyllic, it's very, country. And you woke me. I was almost home. So this is kind of a fitting kind of way for Craig Morgan maybe to get back to the stage after this pandemic. Because it'll tie him in to this new hip sort of millennial mania here with all the youngsters. And then he got the old guys like me here. There is a serious undertone to Craig Morgan that I see here tonight. With all the families that are here in Brooklyn Bowl, either at the bowling lanes or at the bar or waiting at the stage, the thing I always noticed about Craig Morgan, the man, was how family he was. Craig Morgan was extremely family. Sort of dropped out of music and, never, just disappeared. And I always wondered, whatever happened to Craig Morgan? Well, sadly, about 2 years ago, I read in some newspaper somewhere where his son drowned. 19-year-old young man drowned in a boating accident. Some river. He was a nature boy. It was all nature and the natural and the parks and the woods and the camps in the woods and I mean, it was a nature boy, you know. And he drowned in some river. And I'm like, first of all, how do you drown if you're raised in the country? You know, outside of driving a tractor, you also know how to swim. Also, he had a life vest on at the time. So he not only knew how to, you know, swim, he had a life preserver on. Just so tragic. And I'm thinking, God, how do you drown with a life preserver on? It does happen. So among all this family here tonight in this really hip, cool place, right outside of the Memphis Sounds minor league baseball team, I'm really looking forward to seeing Craig Morgan perform tonight. He's back, and in many ways, the death of his son brought him back to the stage. And what more fitting place to return after this pandemic than to this Brooklyn Bowl with so much family around. Should be a good show.